time whenever Mrs. Drake was out at the counseling's office, me and Mr. Borgman just chilled in his room and we started talking. And he ended up talking about and everything. And I like really related to that since I have a lot of stuff on that. But he sat there and talked with me, and he was like, "Your past doesn't define you." It really helped me a lot throughout the day.
Honestly, for me, probably one of the best vice principals I've ever seen work at a school. He was just like, very supportive in the communities that we had going around, especially the theater community. He was like amazing, so.
He was amazing. Like, probably one of the best principals I've seen, if not the best. And he's a really nice guy. My favorite memory was whenever he helped me out with stuff and was just really upset that one day, and I was just so upset that day. He really helped me out. He was such a nice person. I spent some time with him, talked to him about his day pretty much every day. And I saw him at least.
The small talks in the morning and the afternoons before, like when I get to school and before I go home, kind of really made my day. So, he helped out a lot, especially one act play of the theater.
So it was the Branson, Missouri trip that we took during the theater group, like a year or two ago, and we stopped to take a picture, and it was like super cold, super like terrible. It was gross. And we got back in the car, and we were going to Chick-fil-A right afterwards, and he had to sign into his phone, and it said, "Please say your name," or whatever it was, and he went, "Borg, B-O-G," and the entire car like erupted with laughter. And then ever since then we've had the Borg anthem, which is literally like a song that we created for Mr. Borgman, because of that. Like, it was random, but it was great. Like, he cared about his students, he cared about what went on at his school. Like, he was always like finding something that could give back to the students, like whether it be, bikes for kids, or whether it be, just making sure that things were set up the way it had to be, or like the TVs that we have in our school that play the announcements every day. Like, he would make sure that those are always like kept up to date, like, and there for students and for like everyone that needed them.
Mr. Borgman, God, he was such a great personality and fun to be around, and just always supportive and always just, kind of on his toes. One day we're sitting at breakfast and I'm looking at him and I'm like, I don't recognize that shirt. I've never seen that before. And it was maroon and white and everything. But he had a shirt on inside out, and it was hilarious to me. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I had to take a picture of it and send it to his wife and said, "Did you forget to dress him this morning?" Because he was always kind of put together and had his act together, and that was just priceless for me. He was not old enough to be my dad, but he certainly was older enough to give advice all the time. And he just was so even keel and just such a calm spirit that he could tell if I was ever getting fired up about something, so he would always just kind of walk me through it or talk to me. Or he'll say, "Hey, why don't you let me handle that?" Because he knew that I was kind of like, and so he would just kind of step in. Maybe big brother, I'll call him that instead of a dad. But just always great advice, very down-to-earth advice, and just normal and calm without ever being condescending or making me feel, less. So I thought he was amazing because he had a great gift with just getting to know kids and wanting them to be better people. It really wasn't so much about school. It really wasn't so much about academics. It was just about being a good person and treating others with respect and just showing that in your day-to-day life.